Hey everybody, Neil Thompson from Teach the Geek here. I work with technical professionals so they can present more effectively, especially in front of non-technical audiences. And you can learn more about that at teachthegeek.com. Again, that's teachthegeek.com. And as always, remember to like and subscribe to this YouTube channel as every bit helps. If you're a technical person and you've ever had to give a presentation, let's see if this scenario applies to you. You're speaking in front of non-technical people. You're giving a technical presentation, and you see people's eyes start to glaze over. They start to look at their phones. They start to look off into space. Some may even start to fall asleep. Hopefully, they don't snore. But if you've ever been in that situation, there's a few reasons why that possibly has happened. I think a lot of times when we give these technical presentations, we tend to use a lot of jargon that we understand as technical people, but the people that we're speaking to just don't. And because they don't, they stop paying attention. A way to get around that is to use more commonly used words as opposed to the jargon that we're accustomed to. And now that we have generative AI, we can feed prompts into these platforms like ChatGPT, asking what more commonly used words can I use instead of the jargon that you're accustomed to. And you can get some of these words and use those types of words instead, as opposed to the jargon. So that's one thing. I think another thing that we're guilty of is reading slides. I mean, we use it as a crutch because we want to make sure that we say everything that we want to say and don't have to memorize it. And but by doing that, by reading slides, people read slides too, the people in the audience, and they may very well miss something that perhaps you didn't have on the slide. And then the presentation isn't as useful to them. And they're also thinking, well, if I'm just reading these slides, I could have just read these slides whenever I wanted to. Why am I sitting in this presentation listening to you? And it's a fair question to ask. And if you're a technical person, the way to get around that is you don't have as much text on the slide. It forces the people in the audience to either listen to you or ignore you. Hopefully, they choose to listen. But it also eliminates that crutch that you would have had to read the slides. It forces you to know your material well enough to be able to speak to it without the crutch of having a whole bunch of text on the slide. So that's the second thing. And then another thing that I think us technical people don't really think much about is engaging the audience. We don't think about telling stories. We don't think about asking questions. We just don't think about how can we make this experience as enjoyable for the people in the audience as possible. We're very focused on saying what we want to say and expecting the people to understand it. But if we don't put things in a way that these people can understand, or just put things in a way that are even willing to listen, well, our presentations go for nothing, and the people in the audience don't take away what we want them to take away. So again, the fix for that then is to ask questions during the presentation. It's to tell stories during the presentation. It's to get people to actually pay attention. Just think of ways to do so. And I think if we think more about these things, then our presentations will go over a lot more smoothly. So those are the three things that I think us technical people can do to improve our presentations. Number one is to minimize the amount of technical jargon we use and use more commonly used words. And two, it's to not read slides, but know our material well enough that we can speak to whatever we want to speak to, and we eliminate the opportunity for the audience to read slides. Either they listen or they ignore. And then number three, we are more engaging in our presentations. We ask questions. We tell stories. We think of ways. We get more intentional, I suppose the word is, in how we present our presentations. And if we do that, then our presentations become way more effective. Let me know what you think in the comments. Again, my name is Neil Thompson. I am the founder of Teach the Geek. I work with technical professionals so they can present more effectively, especially in front of non-technical audiences. And you can learn more about that at teachthegeek.com. Again, that's teachthegeek.com. And as always, remember to like and subscribe to this YouTube channel as every bit helps. Thanks. Have a great day.